Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick screencast to show you how to get up and running. For those who don't know how, to get a little program running in Eclipse for code forces. So I'm just going to do a variation of the sum program that some of you may have done earlier just to make sure everything was working, and I'm going to do subtract just to have a little variation. So to start out, I click on whatever package I want to use, I right click on it and say new class, and we're going to call that subtract, just since that's what we're trying to do here. So I'll create a new empty class for us. I'm going to show how to use both the scanner and the my scanner. First I'll just show scanner because it's pretty straightforward. So all you have to do is say private. For me, I like to make it a field, so I'm going to say private static scanner equals new scanner, and then you have to pass it system.in so it knows where it's trying to read from. I have automatic imports, but if you didn't, you would have to import scanner. So then we have it, and we can use all the methods that it provides. But for many situations, you're going to want to use my scanner since it's quicker. So you can either get the code from the manual, or if you have it from somewhere else, you can just paste it in. So I have it from a previous class, so I'm just going to paste that, copy that from there, and then paste it into our current class. So now I have my scanner available, and it's almost the same thing. The only difference is that you don't have to pass it system.in because it already has it right there. So to actually to be able to do anything with your program, you need to have the main method. So that's what we're going to do here. And since it's a fairly easy program, I'm just going to keep everything in main. So as I said, we're going to pass in two numbers from our file. So we'll say our result is scanner.nextInt minus scanner.nextInt. So it's going to be the first number minus the second number in our file. Now, if we were doing it in some of these other if it wasn't a Codeforces competition, then we might have to create a loop in here to read multiple inputs for one file, but for Codeforces they usually separate all the test cases, so it makes it a little bit easier. And then we want to print it to the console, so we'll just say system.out println result. So everything should be good, but if we want to actually make sure that everything's alright, we're going to want to create a test case for it. So I right click on the class we created, say new JUnit test case, and then give it the default name of subtract test. And then here we are given a fairly blank template to work with. Now the way I like to do it is I like to be able to pass in a text file that acts as system.in or input. So we're going to say system.setIn new file input stream, and then whatever our text file is going to be called, and we'll need to import that, and then we'll need to throw a file not found exception, so let it do that. If it doesn't give you the option to do that automatically, you just need to remember this line right here. So what that'll do is it'll set the system.in to our subtract.txt file, which we haven't created yet, and we can type whatever we want in there and it'll read it in. And then to actually run the program, we need to say our class we created, subtract, give it the main method. We can pass it in null because we don't have any command line arguments. And then once we've created subtract.txt, everything should run just fine. So what you want to do just to create that is click on whatever package, right click on whatever your package you're working in, create a new untitled text file. Let's give it 1 and 1. Hopefully it'll give us 0 back. I'm working in my Codeforces project, and then I'm going to call it subtract.txt because that's what I told the test case I was going to use. Okay, and we should be good to go. So now we can click on the giant green arrow up here says run subtract test. It's going to throw up, and then we get 0. So if we want to test it with different inputs, we can give it 20 and 1. We can run it again. We get 19, and you can do that as many times as you want, and hopefully that means everything's working. So there you go. That's just how you get a small program set up, and I hope that helps.